Leiria is a city and a municipality in the Centro Region of Portugal. It is the capital of Leiria District. The population in 2011 was 126,879, in an area of 565.09 square kilometers. The city proper has about 60,000 inhabitants. It is the seat of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Leiria-Fatima. History. The region around Leiria has been inhabited for a long time, although its early history is obscure. The first evident inhabitants were the Turguliopadani, a Celtiberian tribe, who were established of settlement near present-day Leiria. This settlement was later occupied by the Romans, who expanded it under the original Celtiberian name Colipo. The stones of the ancient Roman town were used in the Middle Ages to build much of Leiria. The name Leiria in Portuguese derives from Leira, meaning an area with small farming plots. It was occupied by the Suebi in 414 and later incorporated by Leovigild into the Visigoths' kingdom in 585 AD. Later the Moors occupied the area until it was captured by the first king of Portugal, Afonso Henriques, in 1135. During the so-called Reconquista, south of Leiria in that period was the so-called no man's land, until regions further south were permanently taken and repopulated by the Christians. In 1142 Afonso Henriques gave Leiria its first foral to stimulate the colonization of the region. Both Afonso I of Portugal and Sancho I rebuilt the walls and the Leiria castle to avoid new enemy incursions. Most of the population lived inside the protective city walls, but already in the 12th century part of the population lived outside the walls. The oldest church of Leiria, the Church of St. Peter, built in Romanesque style in the last quarter of the 12th century, served the parish located outside the walls. During the Middle Ages the importance of the village increased, and it was the setting of several cortes. The first of the cortes held in Leiria took place in 1245, under King Afonso II. In the early 14th century, King Dines I restored the keep tower of the citadel of the castle, as can be seen in an inscription in the tower. He also built a royal residence in Leiria, and lived for long periods in the town, which he donated as feud to his wife, Isabel. The king also ordered the plantation of the famous pine forest of Leiria near the coast. Later, the wood from this forest would be used to build the ships used in the Portuguese navigations of the 15th and 16th centuries. In the late 14th century, King John I built a royal palace within the walls of the castle of Leiria. This palace, with elegant Gothic galleries that offered wonderful views of the town and surrounding landscape, was totally in ruins but was partially rebuilt in the 20th century. John I also sponsored the rebuilding in late Gothic style of the old church of Our Lady of the Rock, located inside the castle. Towards the end of the 15th century the town continued to grow, occupying the area from the castle hill down to the river Lys. King Manuel I gave it a new foral in 1510, and in 1545 it was elevated to the category of city and became see of a diocese. The Cathedral of Leiria was built in the second half of the 16th century in a mix of late Manueline and Mannerist styles. Compared to the Middle Ages, the subsequent history of Leiria is of relative decay. The city was stormed by the Peninsular War, namely in 1808, and the Great Fire of 1811, caused by the Napoleonic troops retreating from the lines of Torres Vedras. In the 20th century, however, its strategic position in the Portuguese territory favored the development of a diversified industry. Geography and location. Leiria is located in the Centro region and sub-region of Pinhel Littoral, about halfway between Lisbon and Porto. The distance to Lisbon is 137 kilometres, to Coimbra 70 kilometres and to Porto 177 kilometres. The historic city centre spreads between the Castle Hill and the River Lis. Leiria is also included in the Região de Leiria, as the main city in this community. The area of influence of Leiria spreads over the cities of Marinha Grande, Alcobaça, Fatima, Pombal, as well the municipalities, town seats of Batalha, Porto de Emos and Nazaré located nearby. Parishes. Administratively, the municipality is divided into 18 civil parishes. Demographics. Climate. The city of Leiria is located near the western coast, in the central region of Portugal, with a mainly Mediterranean climate with Atlantic oceanic influence. So it has cool and wet winters, relying on average 40 days of rain versus 50 dry days and 5 hours of sun per day. The average temperatures range between 15 degrees Celsius and 7 degrees Celsius and can lower the minimum at -3 degrees Celsius. Colder days, favoring the onset of frost or ice. The springs are quite nice, being very rainy during the month of April. This season has an average of 43 days of rain, 273 mm to 47 dry days and 7 hours of sunshine per day. The average temperatures range between 20 degrees Celsius and 11 degrees Celsius. The summers bring high temperatures and sunshine, counting on average 18 days of rain, 77 mm compared with 82 dry days and 9 hours of sunshine per day. Average temperatures range between 27 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius. The maximum can reach 35 degrees Celsius on the hottest days. The autumn, although mild, sometimes plagues the city with rain and wind and has on average 39 days of rain, 339 mm compared to 51 dry days and 6 hours of sun per day. Average temperatures range between 21 degrees Celsius and 12 degrees Celsius. Snowfalls in the city of Leiria typically occur once every 20 to 30 years. The last time it snowed in Leiria was on the 29th of 2006's January, in a clammy Sunday between 10 and 12 a.m., during which the temperature peaked at -3 degrees Celsius. Culture. In addition to being a site of historical interest, the Castle of Leiria provides a venue for cultural events. Nearby is the Church of St. Peter, the site of the city's annual music festival. Leiria is home to the Museu da Imagem and Movimento, as well as Portugal's restored first paper mill, Moinho de Papel, the Theatre Miguel Franco in the Mercado de Santana, and the Theatre José Lucio da Silva, venues for theatrical, musical, cinematic and dance performances. Today the central square, Praça Francisco Rodrigues Lobo, named after the Portuguese poet Francisco Rodrigues Lobo, is home to a thriving café culture, regularly used for cultural events. The city was the principal residence of the Portuguese king, Denis, who wrote lyric poetry in the troubadour tradition, and a birthplace of the modern realist writer Ecija de Queiroz, whose first novel, O Crime de Padre Amaro, published in 1875, is set in the city. In October 2012, Leiria opened the city's Centro Cívico, a modern architecture building, designed to have social impact on the community. This building has the life of Ecija de Queiroz as a theme. In here, as senior classes and Associação Feza Avançar speak, with support from EDP and Calaustigalbankian foundations, among others. The city has several cultural entities like Leiria's Public Library, Afonso Lopes Vieira, Arquivo, Ateneu, Lirina and Onares, Associação Feza Avançar, Fade Berlin, Metamorphose, Eco and many others that make Leiria a culturally vibrant city, offering the busiest calendars of events. In recent years, Leiria has seen much redevelopment on the banks of the River Lys with the creation of several new parks, public spaces, children's play areas and a series of themed bridges. A long riverside promenade was built which is popular with walkers and joggers. Since 2010, Associação Fadin organizes ENTREMURALHAS, one of the most important Gothic festivals in the world. Panoramic view economy. Leiria has an economy concentrated on services and light industries. It has several industries related with plastics and molds, as well as animal food, milling, cement, and civil construction. Among other light industries, agriculture, tourism, and state-run public services, such as education, health and general public administration, are an important part of Leiria's economy. Monte Real Air Base, a major military airbase of the Portuguese Air Force in Monte Real, where all Portuguese F-16 fighter squadrons are stationed, is also a notable employer in the region. Transport. Leiria is connected to its suburbs and the rest of Portugal by a motorway network. There are 4 motorways passing the city: A1 Autoestrada do Norte linking Porto to Lisbon, passing by Leiria. A8 linking Leiria to Lisbon. A17 linking Marinha Grande to Aveiro. A19 linking Leiria and Batalha, using part of the IC2. There is a railway Linha do Oeste to Figueira da Foz, which serves the central western coast of Portugal. Leiria railway station is a few km from the city centre. The main bus station service is in the city centre. 2 bus loops, called Mobilize, serve the town. There is a small airfield, used for sports and recreation. Leiria-based newspapers: Rei-artur de Leiria Weekly, Jornal de Leiria Weekly, Diário de Leiria Daily, O Mensageiro Monthly. Education. Leiria hosts a national public polytechnic institution of higher education, the Instituto Politécnico de Leiria, which has 5 campuses, 3 of them located in Leiria. Campus 1 School of Education and Social Sciences, Campus 2 School of Technology and Management and the School of Health Sciences, Campus 5 Institute for Research, Development and Advanced Studies, the training center for the courses of technology specialization with around 900 students, the Center of New Opportunities, a transfer technology and information center and an e-learning unit. There is also an private institution, O Instituto Superior de Línguas e Administração. In secondary education, Leiria has the following schools, the first 2 in the center, the last in the outskirts: Escola Secundária de Francisco Rodrigues Lobo, Escola Secundária de Domingos Siqueira, Escola Secundária de Afonso Lopes Vieira, in Gandara dos Oliveiras. In primary education, Leiria has the following schools, teaching from the 5th grade until 9th grade: Escola de Diniz, Escola Correia Mateus, Escola José Saraiva, Escola de Marezes, Colégio Diniz de Melo, Colégio Senhor dos Milagres. Besides this, there are multiple schools in the municipality for the first cycle, from 1st grade until 4th grade. Sport. The city of Leiria has its own football team, the União Desportiva de Leiria, commonly called just União de Leiria. It currently plays at the 3rd level of Portuguese football, in the Campeonato Nacional de Seniors, but recently spent 16 seasons in the Primeira Liga. An important facility is the Estádio Dr. Magalhães Pessoa, situated close to Leiria Castle. The modern stadium has a capacity for 23,000 people and was built for the UEFA Euro 2004. Efforts were made to sell it, as its debt overburdens the city finances. UNIAODA Leiria rents the stadium, but played the 2011-12 season in Estadio Municipal da Marinha Grande due to a rent dispute. The district football in Leiria is managed by the Leiria Football Association, overseeing the regional leagues. Regarding other sports, Leiria has a notable women's handball team, Juvelis, which plays in the Women's Handball League, and also participated in EHF competitions. Since 2013, Leiria has had a chess academy offered as an activity for young people by the Corvos de Lis. Enrolled students have won titles in national competitions, second place by teams under 12 years old in 2014 and 2015, and a national champion, and they work with many primary schools in the region teaching chess, considering it a useful complement to developing intellectual skills. International relations. Leiria is twinned with Saint-Maur-des-Fossés, France, Setúbal, Portugal, Tokushima, Japan, Marinha, Brazil, São Paulo, Brazil, Olivenza, Spain, Rhina, Germany.